Have your legs started to feel heavier, weaker, or sore for no clear reason? Maybe standing too long, walking upstairs, or even getting out of a chair is becoming more difficult. If that sounds familiar, it's time to pay close attention. What you'll discover in this video may surprise you. It's not just about aging. It's about two specific vitamins and certain everyday foods that could silently be draining the strength from your legs. Yes, even supplements that are widely seen as healthy can, in some cases, work against you. They might be weakening your muscles, increasing joint pain, and making your legs less stable and more prone to fatigue. What's truly alarming is that these risks often hide in your daily routine. The foods you eat and the pills you take could be feeding the very weakness you're trying to fight. And here's the kicker. These two vitamins are likely in your cabinet right now. You probably bought them thinking they'd support your bones, protect your body, and help you stay strong. But for many people over 60, they may be doing just the opposite. This video will uncover the truth. You'll learn what's really behind the swelling, stiffness, and chronic fatigue in your legs, and most importantly, what you can start doing today to take back your strength, energy, and independence. If you want to stay mobile and confident for years to come, stay with me. This could change the way you think about healthy. 15. Sweets and sugary desserts. We often associate desserts with comfort and happiness, but after age 60, that slice of cake or scoop of ice cream might quietly be harming your legs more than you realize. Refined sugar triggers inflammation in the body, especially in your muscles and joints, and chronic inflammation makes your legs feel stiffer, more tender, and more likely to weaken over time. Sugar also interferes with how your body uses insulin, draining your muscles of energy. When muscles can't get the fuel they need, they become weaker and less efficient. Add to that the weight gain sugar promotes, and suddenly your legs are under constant pressure. Every extra pound puts added strain on your knees, hips, and lower body. For older adults already dealing with natural muscle loss, that extra burden is no small thing. And it gets worse. Too much sugar boosts toxin production in the body, which only deepens the inflammation cycle. The more inflamed your tissues are, the harder it becomes to stay mobile and steady. You may not know this, but excess sugar can even affect blood flow. It raises your risk of vascular issues, limiting oxygen and nutrients to your leg muscles. That means slower healing, poor circulation, and less strength where you need it most. And here's the kicker. Sugary desserts don't provide the nutrients your muscles actually need, like protein or magnesium. Instead, they fill you with empty calories that chip away at your mobility. What feels like a small treat, a cookie here, a slice of pie there, might be silently weakening your independence. Most store-bought sweets are also loaded with artificial additives, dyes, and preservatives, all of which ramp up inflammation even further. Combine that with sugar, and you've got a recipe for joint and muscle trouble. The good news, you don't have to give up dessert entirely. Try fruit with a touch of cinnamon, or homemade treats with less sugar and more real ingredients. Small swaps like these can make a big difference. Your body and your legs will thank you for it. 14. Fried foods. French fries, nuggets, fried snacks, they're tasty, comforting, and hard to resist. But after 60, regularly eating fried foods can be a quiet disaster for your legs. These foods are packed with trans and saturated fats that trigger inflammation throughout your body, including your muscles and joints. Over time, this leads to stiffness, soreness, and a greater risk of injury in the lower body. Fried fats also slow blood flow, making it harder for your muscles to receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to stay strong. Without that support, your legs tire more quickly and recover more slowly. And it doesn't stop there. Fried foods contribute to the buildup of plaque in your arteries, narrowing the passageways that supply your leg muscles. Less circulation means more weakness, more pain, and less mobility. Foods like donuts, Fried chicken and crispy snacks might seem like harmless comfort, but they come with a price. Have you ever felt your legs heavier or more swollen after a greasy meal? That's not your imagination. That's your body reacting to the overload of harmful fats. Fried foods also digest slowly and take up a lot of your body's energy, leaving less for your muscles. The result? Fatigue, soreness, and over time, even muscle loss. And let's not forget weight gain. These calorie-dense meals can pack on pounds, which puts even more stress on your lower body. Every extra pound increases wear on your knees and ankles, especially if your muscle mass is already declining with age. To protect your mobility and independence, consider cutting back on deep-fried foods. Simple swaps like baking, grilling, or using an air fryer can dramatically reduce the strain on your legs without sacrificing flavor. 13. White bread. It's a breakfast staple and an easy snack, but white bread could be quietly draining the strength from your legs. Made from refined flour, white bread is stripped of fiber and essential nutrients. What's left is a high glycemic food that spikes your blood sugar and quickly drops it again, and those roller coaster shifts take a real toll on your muscles. As you age, your body naturally loses muscle mass. White bread does nothing to slow that process. In fact, by raising insulin resistance and failing to provide the nutrients muscles need, it makes things worse. Less energy reaches your muscles, especially in your legs, and over time, they begin to weaken. Low in fiber and protein, white bread lacks the building blocks required to maintain muscle tone and joint support. It doesn't help your muscles recover. It doesn't help keep your legs firm or balanced. It simply fills you up with calories and not much else. What's more, these carbs are often paired with spreads like butter or jam, adding extra sugar and fat to a food that's already working against you. That combination leads to inflammation, swelling, and even more pressure on your lower body. White bread may seem harmless, but when eaten daily, it contributes to muscle fatigue, poor circulation, and long-term weakness. Fortunately, better options are everywhere. Whole grain breads made with oats, flax, rye, or natural fermentation offer fiber, vitamins, and minerals that actually nourish your body. Paired with proteins and healthy fats like eggs or avocado, they help sustain muscle health and stable blood sugar. You don't have to give up bread, just make smarter choices. Your legs will feel the difference. 12. Alcohol. A glass of wine or a cold beer might feel like a simple pleasure. But after 60, alcohol can take a much bigger toll on your legs than you realize. As the body ages, it becomes less efficient at processing alcohol. This slows down the absorption of key nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, all of which are essential for strong muscles and bones. Without them, your legs become more vulnerable to weakness, cramping, and even fractures. Alcohol also interferes with muscle repair. After physical activity, even just walking or climbing stairs, your body needs time and resources to recover. But alcohol delays that recovery, leaving you more sore, more tired, and more prone to injury. And then there's dehydration. Alcohol pulls water from your tissues, which makes your muscles less flexible and more likely to cramp, especially in the legs. It also taxes your liver, which plays a major role in producing compounds needed for muscle and tissue health. Add in the fact that alcoholic drinks are calorie-dense and often lead to belly fat, and you've got a recipe for even more pressure on your lower body. The extra weight strains your joints and accelerates the natural muscle loss that comes with aging. Have you ever noticed you wake up feeling more stiff, sore, or off balance after drinking? That's not coincidence. Alcohol raises inflammation levels and lowers your motivation to stay active, both of which are bad news for your legs. The impact builds up over time. What starts as occasional discomfort can turn into chronic pain, instability, and lost mobility. That doesn't mean you can never enjoy a drink, but moderation is key. And if your legs have been feeling weaker lately, cutting back could be one of the smartest steps you take. 11. Processed meats. They're convenient, tasty, and found in almost every fridge, but processed meats, like bacon, ham, and sausages, could be slowly wearing down your legs. These meats are loaded with sodium and preservatives that trigger chronic inflammation. Over time, that inflammation targets your joints and muscles, especially in the legs, leading to stiffness, soreness, and reduced mobility. Saturated fats in processed meats also clog your blood vessels and reduce circulation. That means your leg muscles aren't getting the oxygen and nutrients they need to stay strong and recover properly. Weak circulation leads to fatigue, slower healing, and a gradual loss of strength in your lower body. If you often wake up with stiff legs or aching knees, your breakfast meats might be playing a bigger role than you think. Add to that the toxic load these foods place on your liver and kidneys, the very organs that filter waste and help manage inflammation, and your body ends up under constant stress. It's like forcing your muscles to work with the brakes on. Processed meats also interfere with blood sugar and energy metabolism, reducing the fuel available to your muscles. That leaves your legs feeling heavy, tired, and unstable, even with normal daily movement. For older adults, these effects are even more serious. With age, the body naturally loses muscle mass and has a harder time recovering. So, what might seem like a convenient lunch can actually be weakening your legs meal by meal. Thankfully, there are easy swaps. Lean chicken, eggs, fish, or fresh cuts of meat offer much better support for muscle strength and joint health. Even small changes like choosing baked chicken over deli ham can make a noticeable difference in how your legs feel. 10. Instant noodles. They're fast, cheap, and easy, but instant noodles may be one of the worst things for your legs after 60. These products are made with refined white flour and packed with chemical additives, offering little to no nutritional value. What they do provide is a heavy dose of sodium, empty calories, and inflammation, a perfect storm for leg fatigue and long-term weakness. One serving often contains more than half of your daily sodium limit. That much salt encourages fluid retention, leading to swelling, stiffness, and discomfort in the legs. It also raises blood pressure, which can restrict healthy circulation. Poor blood flow means your leg muscles get less oxygen and nutrients, making it harder for them to recover, grow, or stay strong. On top of that, the artificial flavors and preservatives in noodle seasoning packets are known to increase chronic inflammation. Even mild inflammation in your joints and muscles can lead to pain, tightness, and slower movement, especially in the lower body. And don't forget blood sugar. Instant noodles are high glycemic, meaning they spike your glucose levels and then crash them. That roller coaster drains your muscles of stable energy, leaving your legs tired and sluggish after meals. If you've ever felt wiped out or bloated after a quick noodle lunch, that's your body trying to tell you something. Muscle loss, leg fatigue, and reduced mobility don't happen overnight, but regular intake of meals like this can slowly chip away at your strength. And because instant noodles are so common, the damage often builds up quietly. Better options? Try quick meals made with whole grains, lean proteins, and fresh vegetables. Even a few small upgrades can restore balance and give your legs the support they deserve. 9. Packaged cakes and pastries. They smell like comfort and taste like nostalgia, but industrially made cakes and pastries could be quietly harming your legs. These sweet treats are often loaded with refined sugar, trans fats, and artificial preservatives. Together, these ingredients disrupt your metabolism, fuel inflammation, and weaken your muscles, especially in the lower body. The sugar alone is a problem. It causes insulin spikes that promote fat storage and metabolic imbalance, making it harder for your muscles to get the energy they need. At the same time, trans fats added to extend shelf life and enhance flavor clog your arteries and reduce blood flow to your legs. When your muscles don't receive enough oxygen and nutrients, they become more prone to fatigue, soreness, and even long-term deterioration. Over time, this can lead to joint stiffness, instability, and mobility loss. These treats also lack essential nutrients like protein, calcium, and magnesium, the very building blocks your muscles and bones rely on. Instead, they deliver a flood of empty calories that feed inflammation and slow you down. Additives like emulsifiers, dyes, and stabilizers further irritate your system. They interfere with immune responses and increase inflammation in your joints and soft tissues. That's one reason so many people feel heavier, stiffer, or more sluggish after processed snacks. And let's not forget the long-term impact: reduced muscle strength, chronic aches, and a downward cycle of less movement and more fatigue, all starting with what seems like a harmless indulgence. The good news? You don't have to give up desserts. Baking at home with whole ingredients like oats, fruit, and natural oils gives you the same enjoyment without the downside. Your muscles, your joints, and your energy levels will all benefit. 8. Ultra-processed cheeses. They melt easily, spread smoothly, and add instant flavor. But ultra-processed cheeses like cheese slices, spreads, and melting blocks could be doing real harm to your legs after 60. These cheeses are often loaded with sodium and saturated fats, a combination that directly affects both your muscles and blood vessels. High sodium causes your body to retain water, leading to swelling, heaviness, and discomfort in the legs. Meanwhile, saturated fats reduce the flexibility of your blood vessels, slowing circulation and depriving your muscles of oxygen and nutrients. The result? Legs that feel bloated, stiff, and harder to move. But it doesn't stop there. Many of these products also contain phosphates and synthetic additives that interfere with your body's mineral balance. That includes calcium and magnesium, two nutrients that are absolutely essential for healthy muscle contraction and bone stability. When those minerals are poorly absorbed, you're more likely to experience leg cramps, fatigue, and even nighttime muscle spasms. Over time, this can wear down your mobility and make everyday activities like walking or climbing stairs more difficult. Unlike natural cheeses, ultra-processed ones are stripped of high-quality proteins during manufacturing. That means you're getting calories, but not the nutrients your muscles need to stay firm and functional. Without enough protein, muscle loss accelerates, especially as you age. Have you ever noticed that after eating processed cheese, you feel heavier or more sluggish? That's your body reacting to what's missing and what it's fighting against. The fix is simple. Swap out processed cheese for fresh, minimally processed options like ricotta, cottage cheese, or natural-aged varieties. Your legs will move better and feel better when you feed them the real thing. 7. Industrial ice cream. It's one of the most loved desserts, especially on a hot day. But regular store-bought ice cream may be doing more harm than good to your legs after 60. Most industrial ice creams are packed with refined sugar, saturated fats, and artificial additives. This combination makes them highly inflammatory, and inflammation is one of the root causes of joint pain, muscle fatigue, and poor circulation. The sugar causes your blood glucose to spike, then crash, leaving your muscles low on stable energy. That leads to weakness, especially in your legs, and an increased feeling of heaviness or soreness after eating. The saturated fats in cheap ice cream also impact your cardiovascular system. They reduce blood flow to your limbs, meaning your leg muscles receive less oxygen. That's why some people experience numbness, tingling, or even cramps in their legs after a heavy sugary dessert. Over time, reduced circulation can contribute to muscle wasting, slower recovery from activity, and greater risk of falls or injuries. And it's not just the fat and sugar. Many brands contain synthetic thickeners, emulsifiers, and coloring agents that quietly fuel chronic inflammation in your tissues. This low-level, ongoing inflammation gradually breaks down muscle and joint function, especially in older adults. You may not notice it overnight, but over weeks and months, the difference becomes clear. Less strength, more stiffness, and less desire to move. To make things worse, industrial ice creams have virtually no nutritional value. They're full of empty calories, which means they don't build muscle, support joint health, or help you stay active. The result? More discomfort, less mobility, and legs that don't respond the way they used to. A better option? Choose high cocoa dark chocolate, frozen fruit bars, or homemade frozen treats made with real ingredients. You can still enjoy something cold and sweet just without sacrificing your strength to do it. 6. Milk chocolate. It's smooth, sweet, and comforting. But if milk chocolate is part of your daily routine after 60, it could be quietly wearing down your legs. Most commercial milk chocolates are high in sugar and saturated fat. This duo promotes inflammation, disrupts metabolism, and drains your muscles of energy, especially in your lower body. Simple sugars in milk chocolate spike insulin and blood sugar, then crash it, leaving your muscles tired and less responsive. That constant energy roller coaster leads to muscle fatigue, stiffness, and even joint pain over time. And while cocoa itself contains beneficial antioxidants, the amount in most milk chocolate is very low. What you get instead is a highly processed product loaded with preservatives and sweeteners. Ingredients that do more harm than good, especially to your circulation and muscle recovery. Have you ever felt more tired or achy after indulging in chocolate? That's your body reacting to inflammation and nutrient depletion. Over time, this contributes to soreness, slower recovery, and loss of leg strength. Milk chocolate also encourages fat accumulation, particularly in the midsection, which adds stress to your knees, hips, and ankles. The added weight increases pressure on joints and speeds up wear and tear. What's more, these chocolates don't provide meaningful protein, fiber, or minerals. So while they satisfy a craving, they offer your muscles and bones almost no support. If you love chocolate, you don't have to give it up. Just switch to high cocoa dark chocolate, 70% or more, in moderation. It still satisfies your sweet tooth, but offers real antioxidants that can support healthy circulation and reduce inflammation. The goal isn't to remove pleasure from your diet, it's to choose pleasure that supports your strength, not sabotages it. 5. Canned foods. They're quick, easy, and shelf-stable, but canned foods could be quietly damaging your legs, especially as you get older. Many canned products contain high levels of sodium, chemical preservatives, and additives like sodium benzoate or nitrites. These compounds are known to increase inflammation, disrupt mineral balance, and interfere with proper muscle recovery. Too much salt leads to water retention, and that can make your legs feel swollen, stiff, and heavy. It also increases blood pressure, which reduces circulation to your muscles. Poor circulation means slower healing, reduced oxygen flow, and more fatigue in your lower body. And it doesn't stop there. Even canned vegetables and meats often lose most of their natural nutrients during processing. What's left is a product high in calories, but low in the vitamins and minerals your muscles and joints actually need. This kind of diet places constant stress on your liver and kidneys, which are responsible for filtering out toxins. When these organs are overworked, waste builds up, and that can lead to chronic muscle fatigue and even nerve issues in the legs. Some cans may also leach aluminum or other metals into your food, especially when stored for long periods. Over time, these trace metals can accumulate in your body, potentially harming muscle and nerve function. That increases the risk of weakness, imbalance, and falls, exactly what you want to avoid as you age. If you're experiencing persistent leg fatigue or heaviness, take a look at your pantry. Canned soups, meats, sauces, and even beans might be part of the problem. The good news? Fresh or frozen alternatives are widely available and often just as convenient. By choosing foods with fewer additives and more real nutrients, you give your legs the support they need to stay strong and mobile. 4. Packaged cookies and snack foods. They're crunchy, convenient, and addictive, but packaged cookies and processed snacks can quietly eat away at your leg strength after 60. These foods are packed with artificial ingredients, preservatives, dyes, stabilizers, and flavor enhancers. They overload your body with chemicals that disrupt digestion, circulation, and nutrient absorption, especially the nutrients your muscles rely on. Most of these snacks are low in protein, fiber, and essential minerals, and high in sugar, trans fats, and sodium. That means they deliver energy spikes followed by crashes, leaving your muscles depleted and your legs feeling tired, weak, or unsteady. And here's the catch. These effects build up silently. You may not notice the damage right away, but over time they contribute to chronic inflammation, muscle fatigue, and a greater risk of joint pain or even falls. Trans fats, the kind used to preserve shelf life, are especially dangerous. They restrict blood flow to your extremities, block nutrient delivery, and accelerate muscle loss. Poor oxygenation in your leg muscles leads to soreness, swelling, and a loss of balance and strength. Too much sodium in these snacks adds to fluid retention, making your legs feel bloated or heavy. Over time, this pressure contributes to varicose veins, joint strain, and a general feeling of sluggishness when walking. And while they may seem like small indulgences, eating these foods regularly sets off a cycle: poor muscle energy, cravings for more junk, and further weakness. What starts as a snack ends up stealing your mobility. If you want to keep your legs strong, cut back on ultra-processed snacks. Choose whole food alternatives like homemade energy bars, nuts, or fruit with nut butter. Even small swaps like these can make a big difference. 3. Flavor packets and processed seasonings. From instant noodles and soup mixes to bouillon cubes and frozen meals, many of these products have one thing in common: monosodium glutamate, or MSG. And for people over 60, that could be a real problem. MSG is often added to enhance flavor, but its effects go far beyond taste. For aging muscles, especially in the legs, it can quietly do serious harm. MSG interferes with key neurotransmitters that control muscle movement. In sensitive individuals, it can trigger muscle aches, headaches, tingling sensations, and general fatigue. When this shows up in your legs, it might feel like heaviness, stiffness, or even shaky coordination, and it gets worse with age. The older you get, the more sensitive your nervous system becomes to chemicals like MSG. Over time, this can lead to chronic inflammation in your joints, muscles, and blood vessels, which directly weakens your lower body. Poor circulation, muscle cramping, and slower recovery after movement can all stem from regular exposure to flavor additives. And because MSG often comes alongside high sodium levels, it also contributes to water retention, making your legs feel swollen or tight. What's more, MSG disrupts energy metabolism. It alters how your muscles use glucose, reducing their ability to generate strength. That means your legs tire faster even during basic activities like walking or climbing stairs. Most people don't even realize how much MSG they're consuming. It hides on labels under names like flavor enhancer, yeast extract, or hydrolyzed protein. But the effects are real and especially hard on aging muscles. To protect your strength and balance, switch to natural seasonings like garlic, fresh herbs, lemon, or olive oil. They deliver flavor without inflammation, and your legs will thank you for it. 2. Too much vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for vision, immunity, and skin health, but in high doses, especially from supplements, it can quietly damage your muscles and weaken your legs. After 60, your body becomes less efficient at processing excess vitamin A. This makes it easier for the vitamin to build up in your liver and tissues, leading to a condition called hypervitaminosis A, and one of its key symptoms is muscle pain, especially in the legs and lower back. That discomfort often gets mistaken for joint problems or spinal issues. But in reality, your muscles may be inflamed from too much of a good thing. Excess vitamin A also interferes with your body's ability to absorb crucial minerals like magnesium and calcium, both of which are vital for proper muscle function. Without them, your muscles can't contract and relax efficiently. The result? Cramping, fatigue, and long-term leg weakness. Over time, this imbalance may also affect your energy levels. When the liver is overloaded with vitamin A, it slows energy production, and your legs feel it first. Heaviness, slow recovery, and loss of stability. There's another hidden danger too: bone demineralization. Excess vitamin A can strip calcium from your bones, especially in the hips and legs, increasing the risk of fractures and falls. For those already dealing with osteoporosis or low bone density, the consequences can be even more severe. And here's the thing. Many people take vitamin A supplements thinking they're doing something good for their body. But if you're already eating liver, eggs, dairy, or fortified foods, you might be getting too much without realizing it. To stay safe, avoid megadoses and never take vitamin A supplements without medical guidance. A balanced diet usually provides all you need and prevents your legs from paying the price for unnecessary excess. 1. Too much vitamin D. It's often promoted as essential for bone health, especially in older adults, but taking too much vitamin D can backfire, particularly when it comes to your legs. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, which means your body stores it instead of flushing out the excess. And when levels get too high, usually from supplements, it can lead to a condition called hypervitaminosis D. One of the earliest symptoms? Muscle weakness and pain, especially in the legs. Excess vitamin D raises calcium levels in the blood, a condition known as hypercalcemia. While calcium is important, too much of it can cause stiffness, cramps, and a burning sensation in your muscles and joints. You may feel this most in your knees, calves, or thighs. Worse, excess calcium can start to calcify soft tissues like muscles, tendons, and blood vessels, making your legs less flexible, less mobile, and more prone to pain. What should be a helpful vitamin suddenly becomes a source of restriction. Kidney function can also take a hit. Your kidneys regulate mineral balance, and when overloaded with vitamin D, they struggle to keep up. The result? Fluid retention, swelling in the legs, and a constant feeling of fatigue or heaviness. Some people take large doses of vitamin D daily without realizing the risks. But unlike water-soluble vitamins, like B or C, your body holds on to vitamin D, and too much can build up fast, especially if you're already getting some from sunlight and food. For safety, always check your blood levels before supplementing. And only take the dose your doctor recommends based on real needs, not assumptions. Remember, when it comes to vitamins, more isn't always better. Too much of the right thing can still lead to weakness, instability, and a loss of independence. If you're still watching, you're already taking an important step toward protecting your strength, mobility, and independence. We've covered the most common foods and nutrients that may be silently weakening your legs after 60, including the 2 vitamins many people take without realizing their hidden effects. The good news? Now you know what to look out for. By cutting back on inflammatory foods, overly processed snacks, and unnecessary supplements, and making smarter, more supportive choices, you give your legs the power to carry you confidently for years to come. So, if you care about your health and want to keep moving with energy and ease, take action today. Your body will thank you not just now, but long into the future. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and leave a comment below. What challenges are you facing with your legs or mobility? And don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed tips to help you stay strong, independent, and active after 60.